Welcome back to an update video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Earlier today I put out one breaking down LR Trunks, so I'm not going to go over him here. Of course, we have his super attack and all that other stuff, so check that video out. It was up earlier today, early in the morning. In fact, you guys get to hear Groggy D free voice because I had just woken up. But for the purpose of today's video, we have a couple things happening. So for one, it looks like this will probably drop tomorrow, right? I know the information may be public somewhere, but I don't know it off the top of my head. But we got a data download or data download, tomato, and we have the information coming. And there's a couple of Trunkses. So of course, we have Trunks rebirths on the way. So a new rebirth banner is definitely coming. People did say, for one, I want to say people did say that this Trunks, the physical LR Trunks, was promoted in the similar way that LR Broly was, and apparently they're the only two that have been promoted that way, from my understanding. And that means that the Trunks could be featured. So if he's featured, these guys are awakening alongside him, which is cool as well. LR Trunks. So LR Trunks, for one, has these medal requirements. It's pretty funny, actually. You need Super Strike medals for the guy. So I find that to be hilarious because he's an LR. He's awakening with the Super Strike medals and then these other 7 medals. So this is the reason why he gets the Rebirth link instead. But that's not a bad thing in particular because he gets that crit, so I'll let it slide. But we have a GT Trunks and a Xeno Trunks awakening. I'm going to have to start finally doing that series where I said I call things because I've been pointing these out. You know, and I think that what it is, because when we look at the cards and what they do, it's exactly spot on. And I don't think that it's me being like a good prognosticator and truly predicting. I think that these awakenings are just super predictable for what these units that need awakenings will get. It's like super predictable how they'll change the units at this point. Let me know if you guys agree if that's the case. I don't want to take any credit for anything that I didn't produce, of course. But it's just, I feel like these guys are kind of predictable. But that being said, I digress. They're solid, right? They're solid. Of course, we have to hold them up to the optimal stick. I don't think either one is, but of course, it comes down to situations and units available. They are both fantastic units for the niches that they'd be in. This Trunks is a really good super tech supporter. In fact, I may wind up using him because I don't have the TN, who'd obviously be the better choice because he gives 3 key, which this Trunks gives 2 now, or still gives 2 technically. And this Trunks gives 25 attack and defense. The TN gives 40% to those. So only real changes that you need to know about are that he gets a defensive improvement. I believe it's super extra large damage, so I believe that's supreme damage now with the Finish Buster. He gets a 6-turn defensive stack. So the additional game on this boy is going to be lit. If you have those dupes, you know, you want to get that defensive stack. He has a nice actual, like a really nice defensive stat here as well. He can become a very solid tank unit. And then on top of that, he gives himself 25% more and the allies, right? So he gives everybody from TEQ and STR typings 2 key and 25% attack and defense. And of course, he grabs the Rebirth link. So very solid, not much else really to say. Not a damage dealer. He is a generic support unit, but does fit very well due to the fact that he has other common link skills such as GT. I don't want to say Saiyan Warrior Race, but I guess. Cold Judgment is picking up a little bit of traction. He has Vegeta Family, Super Saiyan, and Golden Warrior, I believe. I don't see Golden Warrior, actually, but it is what it is. At least the Super Saiyan is there, and of course, that beautiful passive. So it won't trust Super Saiyan Trunks. Okay, it won't trust what? What won't it trust about Trunks? You guys let me know in the comments. So we have Xeno Trunks. This Xeno Trunks looks fan-freaking-tastic, and he's the reason why I said that. I called something earlier because like a few weeks ago I had a submission about a Xeno Trunks in one of my fan made videos, and I was like, they need to awaken him. They need to give him a 6-turn attack stack. It's like, oh, they did. And maybe like 80% up. Oh, they did. So I always think that's pretty funny. But like I said, it's probably just because they're predictable. I think initially he had a 3-turn stack, and traditionally nowadays, they didn't used to, but nowadays they buffed that to a 6-turn stack. To the other party, super extra large. So yeah, that is supreme damage. By the way, he has an AGL leader skill, 2 key and 40% up. Let's actually look at the other Trunks. Oh, he still does that little stupid heal thing. I wonder if that actually has some gimmick viability. I'll check that out maybe one of these days. But this guy's really cool because he's self-sufficient. Gives himself 2 key and 80%, I was going to say 8,000, 80% more attack. He has that 42 cost, so that's not super bad anymore, I guess. But the reason that kind of stands out to me is because that cost was usually allotted to fierce battle units way back in the day. As the game's creep picks up, you see the cost creep picks up now to where 42 cost is allocated to rebirth units. Just go check your box. See if you have any fierce battle units with a 42 cost. Oh man, I think Gogeta had that. No, right? Maybe he had 48, but those other guys like Frieza and stuff had like 42. Either way, maybe I'm mistaken, but I know some of that stuff off the top of my head. This guy is really good. Again, Mr. Optimal Ruler comes out. I know you guys hate that word, but I have to do it because people will ask me. He's a great unit, but he's actually like that Rebirth Goku I showcased this week. He's in that same period where it's like, oh, this guy's like the 8th or 9th best AGL unit, but of course there's only 6 slots. But it's fantastic if you want to do one of two things. You want to slide him into the team. You guys know I'll do videos with him. I'll be showing him off, so that's not a problem. Or if you like our lacking options. So never write off a unit, right? They may not be so good because they're outdated, but there's always a chance they can rebirth. That's the only reason that the rebirth system exists to this day. Both of these Trunkses will find viable usage in their respective mono teams. And the real question is, how good will they be under categories in the future? I can already see that Xenoverse category brimming with potential. Demigra, Toa, Mira Awakening potential. Maybe a potential... See, like, if I call it this time, I better get my cred. No, in all seriousness, I don't really care. Maybe like a Xenoverse Dokkan Festival, you know what I'm saying? We have potential. So anyways, leave a like if you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new. And like I said earlier today, I did a full in-depth breakdown on that Trunks. And that was my first reaction too, because I hadn't seen him. Tomorrow, I should be back with a Trunks team building video for you guys that are fortunate enough to pull him. Anyways, have an awesome day. Thank you for the support. I'll catch you guys later on.